There was soft music playing and rain was dripping gently outside the window. The city lights of Chicago shimmered against the wet glass as Emily Rose sat quietly with a cup of tea in her hands. That's when she saw it, an envelope on the table with elegant gold lettering. It was an invitation to her high school reunion. 20 years had passed since she'd graduated, yet the thought of going back filled her with hesitation. Back in high school, Emily had been invisible, the quiet girl from a poor family who wore hand-me-down clothes and carried secondhand books. Her classmates rarely spoke to her except to laugh at her shoes or whisper about her behind her back. The confident, popular girls would giggle whenever she passed by, while the teachers, too busy or indifferent, pretended not to notice. Emily learned early how to be silent, how to hide her pain behind polite smiles, and how to survive by believing in something greater, hard work and hope. After graduation, she left her small hometown behind. Life didn't make things easy for her. She worked as a nurse during the day and studied late into the night, often falling asleep at her desk from exhaustion. Her mother's voice always echoed in her mind, "Do your job, and it will speak for you." Slowly, piece by piece, Emily built a life she could be proud of. She earned her medical degree, worked her way up through long hours and sleepless nights, and eventually became the chief of staff at one of the largest hospitals in Chicago. Now, sitting in her apartment years later, she held the invitation again. She wasn't sure why she felt nervous. She had everything she once dreamed of. Maybe it wasn't fear, but curiosity. What would they see when they looked at her now? The night of the reunion arrived. The rain continued to fall as Emily stepped out of her car, her reflection flickering in the puddles on the sidewalk. The restaurant glowed warmly from the inside, laughter echoing faintly through the glass. She took a deep breath and walked in. The chatter slowed as she entered, heads turned. Some faces she recognized immediately. The same girls who once mocked her, though time had changed them. Their perfect hair and bright confidence had faded, replaced by tired eyes and the faint traces of years gone by. A few of them exchanged quick, uneasy glances, whispering to one another, unsure if this elegant woman in a navy blue dress was truly her. Emily smiled politely and made her way to the bar. She didn't come to show off. She came to close a chapter of her life, but fate had other plans. Moments later, a group of men entered, one of them wearing a military uniform. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with silver streaks in his hair and a quiet authority in his stance. When his eyes met Emily's, he froze. Then, to everyone's surprise, he stood up straight and saluted her. The room fell silent. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. He walked toward her slowly, eyes shining with emotion. "Dr. Rose?" he said softly. "You don't remember me, do you?" Emily blinked, unsure. "I'm sorry, should I?" He smiled faintly. "You were the surgeon who saved my life 3 years ago in Afghanistan. I was told I wouldn't make it through the night, but you didn't give up. You gave me another chance." A stunned hush swept over the room. The same classmates who once ridiculed? Emily now sat speechless as the soldier, a decorated officer, spoke with deep respect. "Ma'am, it's an honor to finally meet you again," he said. The silence was heavy, but not uncomfortable. It was a silence filled with realization. The very people who had laughed at her had just witnessed something extraordinary. The quiet girl they once mocked had become someone the world now saluted. Emily felt no pride, only peace. She looked around the room and saw not enemies, but people shaped by time, by their own stories and their own lessons. She didn't need to say anything. Her life had already spoken for her. The reunion ended quietly. As Emily stepped back outside, the rain had slowed to a gentle drizzle. The city lights shimmered like scattered stars on the wet pavement. She took a deep breath, feeling lighter than she had in years. Her mother's words came back to her once more. "Do your job, and it will speak for you." And she finally understood. Life truly has a way of putting everything in its place. Ridicule can turn into respect, silence can grow into strength, and the people who once looked down on you may one day look up to you with admiration. As she walked down the quiet Chicago street, her umbrella catching the rhythm of the rain, Emily smiled, not out of pride, but peace. She had become exactly who she was meant to be. What an amazing story of grace and strength. Dear friends, tell us in the comments where you re-watching from, and if this story touched your heart, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Because sometimes all it takes is time and courage for life to show that every story finds its rightful place.